Here, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
What do you think about this heroic suit?
Awesome. It's like wearing underwear in a good way.
It's like what?
It's like wearing underwear in a good way.
Okay. This here's a stage 3, all kangaroo, super hyper light suit. Can you give me a rundown of the different features that are comfortable to you?
Yeah, I mean it's padded in spots that are really important to be padded, but also without the extra weight. It's really comfortable and really lightweight. Like it's like wearing nothing. And but I've gone down in a few heroic suits in my lifetime, and I've always felt safe and comfortable, and I've been fortunate enough to walk away with little injury. And for sure this is a great suit, and I think it's pretty revolutionary in the way that it's built.
Now, why is that?
I mean, if you look at it, it's not really made to be stood up in, but you've got certain spots like that. I mean, you spend on a motorcycle, you're crouched over, kind of in this position all the time, and you're kind of doing this, and you've got so much flexibility and room to move in this suit. It's not really stiff at all, and even a brand new suit like this feels like it's been worn out for a while, which is really important, I think.
Now,
when you start off,
that feature that you're talking about, that's kind of new to this new heroic Genesis suit.
Yeah.
Now, can you point that out and explain what you're talking about?
Yeah, so you've got a little piece of leather here and some mesh right here, and when you bend over, it kind of, if you can see it,
Very forgiving.
yeah, very forgiving, and it kind of moves with your body, and it flexes and squishes in the right spot. It's like an accordion.
Now, what about the legs on this here?
So as you can see, you've got a big, nice underwear patch right here, which makes the suit a lot more breathable and a lot more flexible, and it gets air in the right spots.
Now, is that a safety concern? I mean, like, do you have any?
No, if you crash a motorcycle, you're usually kind of crouched and rolling around, and you get impact here, and this suit's got a lot of protection in those areas. This area is not really a major concern for me. It'd be a freak accident for something to happen there, and it's not usually a concern. I mean, so I think having this free is a big bonus, because you get a lot of air and you get a lot of flexibility and comfort in a suit that is still really padded and protected.
Now, the mobility. You ride. I was telling you a while ago, you look like a frog. But you ride with a very aggressive, almost like a frog stance on the bike. You generally ride R6s that I recall, I guess this last year, a bunch of Hondas, right?
Gixxer.
Oh, okay. But the biggest thing is, you're floating on top of the bike, correct?
Yeah, for me, a suit's really important. I have a little more needs than other riders, because I am a little animated on the bike, and I do move around a lot, and I get into more extreme positions, so I need a suit that's going to move with me, and with a feature like this, or with features like this, that allows me to get into those positions easier and with less effort. And I think every little bit counts on a motorcycle, especially when you're racing and riding at a high pace. So any effort that can be saved and put into put towards a more useful area is good.
Now, you've won a lot. You've wrecked a lot.
Yeah.
You've wrecked a lot.
Yeah, I have.
But you've performed at an incredibly high level compared to a lot of the guys that you see every weekend. How much does that suit help you out?
It gives me a lot of peace of mind is the first thing. I mean, I've crashed in other suits where it's been little crashes, and I just I was a little more sore than I should have been. And with these suits, not that, obviously, if you crash in a certain way, the suit can only do so much, but I've always felt like this suit had the best potential and the best protection for me when I was going down. I knew it would give me the best case scenario out of whatever unfortunate accident I would have. But I've been in a lot of weird crashes and stuff, but this suit has always held up really well. And
it's super thin, right?
Yeah, it's freakishly thin, but it holds up. It holds up very well. I've never had any issues with burning holes in it or anything, and it's a really durable material, and I think definitely better than cow leather. It's kangaroo, and it's a lot thinner than your average suit, and it's really lightweight, and the extra mobility does not come with the cost of safety, which is important.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about your sister's. Actually, it was your 2011 suit that we made for a special race for you, I believe. And when we got that suit here, we were actually modifying it, or not modifying, I guess, rehabbing it, in order for your sister to ride in it. And what amazed me is that even with all the holes in it and all the abrasion, all the burns, that you guys were still wanted to wear those suits. Why is that?
It was really comfortable, and it just, as many holes and as many scratches and stuff as I had, it still held up. And at that stage in its lifetime, it was probably better than half the suits on the market today.
So it is, what I'm trying to talk to customers about and trying to talk to my racers about as far as marketing my brand, helping the brand grow. I'm trying to really get people past the wrecking part, talking about how well the stuff wrecks. And the first thing that you said when you put this suit on was what? As far as the mobility.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's interesting. I mean, it's not. It feels like you're naked, kind of, but I've had enough experience in these suits to know that no, that's not the case. I mean, it feels so good that you're naked, but in the unfortunate event that you do go down, God forbid, it holds up. It holds up really, really well, and I think that's something like a mental thing to get past, but I think that's a great thing to have, a suit that doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, but when you crash, it feels like you're wearing a lot of things. And it's padded in all the right spots, and especially if you're wearing your right back protection and chest protection, right helmet, gloves, which those gloves are pretty good too, pretty comfortable.
Got a bunch of those we're getting ready to try on.
Yeah, so, I mean, it feels like you're wearing nothing, but it really holds its own.
So when you're talking about, I call it transparency. When you get on a motorcycle, we're getting on a motorcycle. These motorcycles are probably the most uncomfortable things that you can be on. Yeah. In a fetal position. Yeah. And what I'm trying to build is transparency. Is that what you see when you try on the suit?
Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I see. I mean, I put it on, and it's really unlike any other suit that I've worn before. And
I ask everybody, can you feel the collar?
Yeah.
Can you feel?
Not at all.
That's exactly what that's what I go for.
It's this area. That's another thing that I was going to point out. I don't feel like it's not pulling on my body so hard, and it's not like, even if I do this or this is really just, it relaxes this area, which I don't think there's any need to have any tension in this area, because that having tension on your neck puts stress on your body, which is unnecessary.
But you can really look down and through.
Yeah, you can move your head, which is also important in racing. You're in fetal position, but you're moving your head all the time, moving your elbows, you're moving your knees, and this suit, with this mesh here, you can move your knees out really easy. With this, you can kind of crouch over,
spin around,
and then with the collar the way it is, you can move your head without any major issues, without getting like rope burn on your neck, which I've had in other suits before, because the collars are just grinding on your neck all the time.
Xavier, so what are you going to be doing this year? What's your plans?
I have plans we're still working on our plans, but we're trying to put together a solid Superstock 600 program, which is what I ran this year, and probably some dirt track races, but that's to be determined.
Now you're obviously in New York City now, but you just came from Florida. Who you riding with? Who you practicing with?
We train in Florida. We ride on all the motocross tracks there. We've got guys like Johnny Lewis is the guy that I'm staying with, and we're training and riding there. He's been great to let me stay there, and he's put forward a nice hospitality for me, and we get along really well, me and his family. And
what's the differences, the big differences between road racing and flat track racing that you're putting together right now?
Flat track is an interesting scene. I mean, it's a little different than road racing. It's a little less intense. It's a little more relaxed, but I mean, the whole sport is different, but it's not different. Racing is racing, and especially on motorcycles. You got a whole big family of motorcycle racers, but the flat track community is really, really tight, and you go around in circles, but it's probably the most fun circle you could ever do in your life.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really intense, and it's just a lot of fun.
So is that something you recommend a lot of these guys, track day guys, or club
I think
racers get involved? Or?
I think any cross training is important.
Why?
Because it opens your mind up and gives you a different perspective. And I think a lot of people get stuck with doing track days all the time and riding road racing exclusively. And I think to open up your mind a little bit and open up your body to different things and to understand the motorcycle a little better, you got to do something different.
Okay.
So you mean like riding a dirt, motocross, flat track, anything like that, definitely helps. And I think it's obviously dangerous and easy to get hurt, but you're riding a motorcycle in the first place. So I don't think that should be a big concern of yours as much as just to do your best to be safe and get with the right people. Like Johnny Lewis has a school and training that he helps riders who want to learn flat track. He brings them up, or even motocross or supermoto. He teaches that too, and he brings them up. And people drive from California to go to his school and to practice, and they get to stay at his track. He gets to show them nutrition, exercise, how to work out, how to eat right, how to prepare for race day. There are a bunch of races, handful of races, supermoto races or dirt track races over the winter there. Oftentimes students come down and stay for a week and they get ready for a race. So he goes through a week of training with them, and they stay at the track. We ride, we do whatever, and go over nutrition and exercise, and we get ourselves ready for race day. And he's got bikes to rent, and you rent your bike and you go ride and race, and he's there to help you. And he's a national number 10. He's a pretty good flat tracker. I mean, he's won races at the top level of flat track, and American flat track is probably the highest level of flat track in the world, really.
No, what about Xavier? What about you?
Oh.
Let's hear you.
I'm working on it. I'm working on my my dirt track skills. I love it for sure. I love anything on two wheels. Road racing is still at my heart, and it's still my number one priority. But I think dirt track over the winter, especially where it's cold and it's not, there's not a lot of action going on in road racing, and during the year you don't really want to take risks with riding motocross or dirt track so much, and you want to keep it to road racing. But over the winter, I think it's a good opportunity to ride motocross and dirt track and kind of explore a little bit until the racing season comes.
Well, I say that, man, that's almost 13 minutes standing in an uncomfortable kangaroo stage 3 heroic
honestly,
race suit.
Yeah, feels like I'm wearing nothing, honestly, and it's awesome.
Cool. So, Xavier, where can guys look you up? What your Facebook?
My name's Xavier Zayat, Xavier Zayat. That's the easiest way to reach me. Contact me. We are looking for some support this year. We're doing, we're going to try to run a good program, a solid program, and any updates and stuff you can keep up to date on my Facebook. Cool.
Xavier, you rocking heroic this year?
Yep.
Cool. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks.